certain amendments to the agreement.
The reply seemed to fall short of an outright acceptance that the United States has been advocating for.
Officials from the United States revealed that the country will send Ukraine an additional Patriot missile defense system.
The officials confirmed that President Joe Biden has authorized the move,
cautioning about the far-right Project 2025 agenda for a potential Donald Trump White House. A group of House Democrats has launched a task force to begin countering the proposal and prevent it from taking root if the Republican former president regains power. One person was fatally shot in connection with a bus hijacking that prompted a police chase through 2 Georgia counties on Tuesday, authorities said.
Police responded to a report of gunfire on a Gwinnett County transit bus and a possible hostage situation, the Atlanta Police Department said.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Damn good coffee and hot.
Oh, that was kind of rushed.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
You know what I want? I want an enema. Anybody out there giving enemas today? Stop by. I'm an enema of the day. Wow. You got a lot of stuff. You ever got a lot of stuff in your thing? Looking for something. It should be my thing, but it's not my thing. All right. Good morning. It is Thursday, June 13th, 2024. All right. Have a good day. Bye for now. If you're just waking up like me, you probably need an enema, or maybe you haven't heard the news yet, that according to Twitter anyway, Russia is collapsing. The ruble is actually worthless, absolutely worthless today. Like, you could have 1,000,000 rubles, have nothing. You could have 1,000,000,000 rubles and have nothing, because it's absolutely worthless. And people are celebrating this. And as much as I hate Putin, I'm not sure this is a good thing. This could be dangerous. A country the size of Russia with a crazy person in charge collapsing is not good for the world, because you never know what he's going to do. He gets desperate. As people start revolting, I'm pretty revolting myself. It's not a good thing. I don't know if it's worth celebrating. People are doing a victory dance. Like I'm sure if you're in Ukraine right now, you probably I'm worried. That's all I'm going to say. I'm worried. Today we have, I like to think we have a good show for you every day. But today I think we have a good show for you at 10:15. Lee Chambers, author, screenwriter, director, filmmaker extraordinaire, will be with us. Now, Lee is a Canadian, but he's kind of, he loves talking about U.S. politics. So I think we might end up making this a political show to some extent. So if that turns you off, go get an enema and come back tomorrow. That's all I can say. Last night, Dick was in town. Dick was in the room. We got an earful of Dick. GD woke up happy. He's still thinking about Dick when he wakes up in the morning. So it's a good day. It's a good day. It's a beautiful day here, summer day, a great day to just trip out and relax and get rid of some of that depression and anxiety with your favorite product, Mind Bloom.
Mind Bloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical and personal breakthroughs, alchemizing both the psychedelic medication, psychiatric care from psychiatric clinicians, coaches, we call psychedelic guides, and a lot of content and meditations and programs into this really transformational experience that, because it's delivered at home, costs a lot less and is a lot more convenient for people to receive.
I'm all mind bloomed up. Finger fucking Ron is in my spot. What am I hearing? I'm hearing things. You hear things?
Sounds like a loudspeaker.
Loudspeaker. Finger fucking Ron, Breeze report to the principal's office.
Yeah, I'm doing my best.
What do you have to say, GD? Do you have something to say, or?
Good morning, America. FindDogTV.com. Do you have daddy issues? If you don't, order your issues of Daddy Magazine in the book aisle of MindDogTV.com. Check out all of our other issues as well, and pick the issue that fits you best. MindDogTV.com. Enjoy the suffering.
All right.
Ron didn't show his feet. I got to do it over.
Oh, yeah. Well, he was going to show his finger fucking or something.
Yeah, I got to do it over.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'll give Ron a minute.
Where's that finger, man?
Well, he's out west. There's no point in. There's no telling where that finger's been.
Oh,
you got finger guns and finger bangs. It's all that stuff out there. It's the wild west.
Something for you to pass along to the Rev when you see him.
Okay.
An email, a comment from Rumble. From Alexander Toro commented on your video on Church of Last Resort. Help me help you. Help me help.
Oh, that should be them. Damn it, I didn't catch all of them.
Oh well, whatever. It says, "What kind of man of God swears? What denomination is this? I know it's not Catholic."
Fuck yes, Catholic.
Because a Catholic priest would never say "fuck" while he's fucking you in the ass. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. He'd say begat, wouldn't he?
I'm begatting you in the ass?
Yeah, begatting.
That's assuming he's not drunk enough to talk.
So the Rev is making some enemies over there on Rumble.
Well, that's why he put it over there. He's just embarrassed that he misspelled them.
Right. Well, fuck them.
That's right.
So, did you guys hear about the Putin thing, or am I the guy, the only one who's heard about Russia falling apart today?
No, I've heard of it, but I'm not shocked.
Heard of Russia?
Yeah, we're not.
No, I've heard of Russia. Heard of Russia falling apart.
I thought they were falling apart back when Tucker Carlson went over there and said that they weren't falling apart. That's when I assumed they were falling apart.
That's usually a good sign when it is when you have to go on TV and say it isn't.
Yeah,
I don't know. Do you think because people are doing a victory dance, like this is a good thing? I'm nervous about it because that's the kind of shit that we'll start a world war. It's like a country that size just imploding on itself economically. I think it's a bad thing. I hate to be a downer and everything on a Thursday morning when everybody is just so upbeat and happy. Steven's kids are doing a little, yay, it's a good day.
Yeah. Steven's kids are being happy and passing around germs and getting people sick.
Right. No wonder I need an enema.
Little bastards. All right, I got them calling down.
You weren't married?
Ron put his finger right on the camera. Did you see that? It's
yeah, finger fucking the lens.
That's got me half bricked up over here.
Now we have to see him right through a fingerprint for the rest of the day.
This is what a cervix sees. Yeah.
So answer the question. The question, damn it.
No, the only thing I did see that the U.S. is like on board with the EU using $50 billion of the Russians' absconded money as collateral so that they could fund the Ukraine war some more.
Yeah. But so you're not nervous, you're not scared, you're not depressed, you're not.
I'm nervous all the time. I'm nervous all the time, especially with Russia. The thing is, the Russians are dropping the ball. They just need to assassinate Putin in a good way. I'm not saying that in a bad way to get us in trouble. I mean it in a good way.
I don't think we can get in trouble for that. If it's a weird thing, I'm not sure of the rules here, but I think if we say we want to see Putin assassinated, I think that won't get us in trouble. Not that I'm saying that. I'm just saying I don't think that would get us in trouble.
Right? Because I'm not. Yeah, because I'm not promoting Putin getting assassinated. I'm just saying if he were to get assassinated, Russia would be better off as a country because they would probably get a chance to join the rest of the world to get their sanctions lifted, maybe, or eased up some.
Yeah.
They could start putting their brides back on catalogs again because we're like the biggest importer of Russian brides in the
biggest
world.
problem with that is then the Republican Party would have to find a new leader because he is the head of the Republican Party here in the United States right now. So,
well, that's true. That's true. But they could always turn to Netanyahu.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah, not at first. I had to think about it.
Somebody says, "What is this?" Do we have an answer for that?
Yeah, this is we are the headquarters of minddogtv.com, and we encourage you to enjoy the suffering. We are suffering central.
All right, I'm suffering a little bit here.
And I'm HR. God damn it.
HR. Well, did you talk to Jim Norton? Because Jim Norton was supposed to talk to you on my behalf today.
No.
Well, let me just tell you, Jim Norton was going to HR for me. He says, if Elon Musk did LSD, cocaine, and mushrooms at work, then we should all be doing LSD, cocaine, and mushrooms at work. And Jim Norton was going to present that idea to you here in the HR department.
I think he did that after he was rich, though. He didn't do that before he was rich.
Oh,
because he couldn't afford all that stuff before he was rich.
Yeah, but he did it at work.
Yeah, but after he was rich. Once we have that kind of money, we can do the cocaine and stuff.
I don't care about Musk. I was just saying that if Musk could do it, we should all do it. That's Jim Norton's, and he's bringing that argument to HR for me, so that I might be able to do. Because even though I am like probably the boss, I'm probably the boss here. Right?
Go on, Springsteen. Let's hear those songs.
I probably am. I still have to abide by the rules of HR, so I can't just like go firing people without going to HR first and say, "Can we get rid of GD?"
Yeah, go on, baby. You were born to run.
That's right.
Lucky.
I'm born to have the runs.
Yes. And you'll die that way too.
That's true. But here's the deal. Paulie Shore's following me, by the way. You know Paulie Shore, the Wheeze, follow me.
Oh, that's dope.
I'll follow anybody that follows him.
I follow him.
You do follow him? Does he follow you back yet?
I don't know if he follows me.
Well, a couple of days ago, he said he would follow back anybody who followed him, so he's following me. But people were asking why he was trending, and he said the reason why I'm trending on Twitter is because the Wheeze asked for 1K plus reposts in under an hour. Fans deliver, and so I said Wheeze Mania is a thing, and he reposted that, and now I got like hundreds and hundreds of likes on just Wheeze Mania is a thing. So
and this is on what? Facebook, Reddit, TikTok,
Twitter.
Oh, X. Oh yeah, Twitter. Okay, I don't need the followers on X. I'm not big on X.
It will always be Twitter. It will never be X. So
it's heading its way to XXX and XX, according to Ron's survey of porn sites on X.
Well, I look for any open door where I could get somebody with a name recognition on the show. So now I'm gonna, you know what, Stephen, if you follow him or he follows you, or whatever, just put, you know, let's work on him a little bit. Let's like work angles on him to get him to come on the show. Come on, Mindo, you got nothing else. You're a big star. Everything is going your way. You might as well come on.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got to make sure we we pitch it the right way.
Ron, Ron, shouldn't that be fingerhunt.com, kind of like the store?
Finger Hunt?
No, it's fingercunt.com.
I wasn't going to go there because
he uses the wrong finger, by the way. I thought I saw him using this finger. It's this finger. This is the one you want to use.
He rotates them. He rotates.
Well, see, I use two, and then these two. Yeah.
At thefinger.com, you can use any finger. We don't discriminate. You can use your little pinky.
Goldfinger?
Can you be like, who's that? Peter Piper picked the pen? No. Who's the kid with the thumb?
Wow, it sounds like thefinger.com is very progressive.
You know, Ron, can you use a Butterfinger?
Stuck in a thumb and pulled out a plum. That guy. Who is that guy?
Jack Spratt?
I don't know. Whoever it was who stuck in a thumb.
Little Tommy Horner sat in the corner eating his Curtain Way. No, that's the wrong one.
I know.
Damn it! I have maditis. I have maditis of the metaphors. Damn it!
All right. The other weird celebrity, Kyra Sedgwick. She might be crazy. She might. She might be. Oh, Kira. Is it Kyra or Kira?
Kira.
A couple of weeks ago, I reached out to her on Facebook and said, "Come on the show." She said, "Okay," and then she dropped the ball. So I reached back to her. I said, "Okay, what are you going to accept?" I got no answer. I said, "I guess not. We'll plug all of me as if it's our own." And she said, "Exactly. Hello there, and yes, let's definitely give all of me some love. It's an amazing project, and I'm so proud to be part of it. Let's plug it like it's our own." It is our own, because it's definitely a labor of love. I don't know what that means. Is she coming on or not? It's women.
Sounds like she wrote that while she was coming.
Huh?
Sounds like she wrote that while she was coming.
Maybe. It could be.
I mean, that'd be a talent.
Yep. Hey, just to let you know, at thefinger.com, you can use our finger calendars. So you never lose track of the date.
Yeah, finger food. Yeah, finger foods.
Let's be clear here. Jim Norton showed up at HR and gave Ron the LSD, and he took it all. That's what happened. Where are you, Ron? Are you out in the wilderness of New Mexico? Where you're outdoors? That looks like a I don't know what it looks like. It looks like
a retirement home.
Yeah, or either that or witness protection kind of
trailer thing.
Yeah, I'm currently in Taos, New Mexico, and we're at my wife's cousin's house.
Now, is this a kibbutz, a commune, a cult? What is it?
It looks like one of those underground, things.
Silos.
Those communities. No, those communities. What that television show where they put people underground for like 6 months, and then they come out and say it's
Congress,
still
C-SPAN.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because like if I look out, let's see if I can switch the camera.
There we go. It's nighttime there. When he looks the other way, it's nighttime.
The Skinwalkers got him.
Devices not connected.
He fingered the wrong button.
He must be on an Indian burial ground.
Your children, let this be a lesson to you. Do not finger your camera while you're working it.
Right. One finger leads to another.
That's a song. One finger leads to another.
Yeah. He's back and still again.
Don't touch that button again, Ron.
Yeah.
Ooh,
well, behind me, there we go. Behind me is there's the mountains. Then over there is
looks like a molehill to me.
Yeah. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah, Ron, that's bad advertising. Everybody can see it, plainly see it's not a whole mountain. Mountains are 1,000 feet high. That thing's got to be a quarter inch at the most.
Yeah, it's nice. You can actually still see the snow on top of the mountains here.
Did you get a chance to meet
That's
any of the
cocaine.
locals and get a flavor of the spirit of Taos, New Mexico?
Not yet. We'll probably do that today since we didn't get here until like 8:45 last night.
Wow, that's late. Oof.
So, but her aunt runs this upholstery shop, runs her own upholstery shop, and she's got this huge shop, and then like half of it is like an apartment or a house. It's pretty cool looking inside.
So you're gonna come back all covered in leather?
Maybe we'll see.
You'll have a new stage outfit.
You wake up tomorrow. I upholstered Ron for you.
He's gonna come in with the Ric Flair robe type deal.
Ron, I finally got around to posting the thing from Tuesday night's Doghouse, and when I called you a whore, I meant that in a nice way. Just want you to know.
Well, there is no nice way. Is there? Why?
Yeah. I did it with the hard R, which shows respect. That's what the R in whore is for respect.
I did not know that.
I don't know. I think I'm with Matt on this. I don't think there's a nice way to call somebody a whore.
No, if you were being mean, you'd say ho. That's why I said whore.
I think if I was playing around, I'd say ho.
But I'm not playing. I'm serious. He's a whore, but I mean it with love and respect. He's cheating on me with another comic in another state. I'm sorry. That's whorish behavior.
All right.
I guess you're not wrong.
That's the show for you, folks. Have a good day. So you know who Luke Beasley is? No, say no. I don't even have to. You don't know who Luke Beasley is. Luke Beasley is a kid from Amarillo, Texas, or somewhere Austin, Texas. He's a political pundit on Twitter. He's got his own YouTube show. Very far left guy, but he goes to Trump rallies looking for trouble, and he finds it. Imagine that, going to a Trump rally to look for trouble and find it. But yes,
well, it's easier than finding intelligent life there.
Well, this is the thing. He talks to these people, and the videos just make your head hurt. But and I can't find the video. I wanted to share it this morning, doing my homework in class again. But he got this guy, and the guy kept talking about how Trump is still a president, and he's like, thinking that the guy's just talking about stealing the election. He said, no, Trump. He said Trump gave the power of the presidency to the military to hold for a certain period of time. So the military is actually running the country while Trump is running for president, even though he is president. And he said, well, what about Biden? He said, well, we see, but what is Biden's role in all this? He said, Biden's dead. That we have a video of the funeral. And Joe Biden is actually, well, who is this fucking guy? Well, he's what they call body doubles. And this guy was dead serious. And like he had a 5-minute conversation with this guy. And this guy was not coming off this. It turns out he saw it on a television show called The Day After or something. He was saying, you have to watch this show. It shows you. This is the problem with these fucking crazy people that are, all they do is watch I don't know, the most out there version of the History Channel that aliens created Donald Trump to whatever, these crazy conspiracy theories. And then their whole argument is you got to see this television show. But if you see it, it will hurt your brain, which is why I wanted to show it to you, because I want to see all of you with hurt brains.
But thank you. I appreciate the offer. I can only speak for myself. I cannot speak for the other 6 people in the show, but because we have the behind the scenes crew that's getting like $50,000 a day, I think that's the going rate for behind the scenes crew people.
50,000.
50,000 an episode. I'm sorry, it's an episode,
not
not
an
a day.
episode.
Right, because if they do 4 episodes a day, that's 200,000.
Well, that's some good news. That you know what, that thing was a real thing, and that's gonna actually. I think that thing that we're talking about, which you just alluded to, that I probably shouldn't be talking about it anymore on it.
We're not talking about it. We're alluding to it.
No, alluding to it. Yes.
Right. We're not talking about it.
Right. That's going to happen.
Okay.
So good things are on the horizon. Can you see the horizon from where you are, Ron? See the horizon? Do you see
just a little bit.
Do you see good things?
Out here, yeah.
Is there a cloud in the sky? It looks like not one cloud in the sky out there.
No, it's absolutely clear today.
It turns out there is a color revolution going on, and it's orange.
Ew.
So, Matt, how close are we to being terrestrial radio? Because we've been sacrificing and suffering through the news for some time now. Are we? Is it like this close? Are we this close? Like this close?
Keep going. Keep going. No,
okay.
Keep going.
Are we like this?
A little more.
Both directions or one direction?
Little more.
Like this?
Right about there. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right. I was just checking because I was promoting. I was promoting us for terrestrial radio, and people saying what channels. I said, well, terrestrial radio, that channel.
Oh well, it would be WRIV. I think it's 1340. It's AM, but they have a FM. But the FM is probably really low. It's like 86, 87
kilohertz. The kilowatts, megahertz.
No,
how many watts? How many watts is the channel? Like 12? Is it like a college channel? Okay.
No, FM watts. What FM watts doesn't matter. AM watts matter, and it's probably like 1,000 watt.
Okay, well that's better. That's better than a college channel. A college channel is like
nobody
50
listens
watts.
to AM radio. The thing is, they put us on their website, which gets like lots of traffic and all that stuff. So it's getting on terrestrial, so we can get back on the internet somehow. Kind of.
That's like me buying an electric car so I can go to the dealership to buy a diesel engine.
What is Ron doing to make himself look so good today? He's never looked this good before.
The further away he gets from comedy, the better he looks.
What is that thing?
He's in talent.
What is that thing? You see that thing? It looks like, I don't know. It looks like a thing.
I think it's a spotlight, a night light for the outside of the house.
Yes, there's a night light with a door with a net in front of it.
Oh, that thing. I was looking to the left side. I was looking above.
Like a fishing reel.
Yeah, I was looking above the chair with the water bottle. I think that's like a light, and they can aim it.
How long before a cow comes by? There's got to be a cow coming by any minute now.
Matter of fact, that's what Ron is doing right now. He's getting milk.
That's a bull.
Does he know he can't milk a bull though? Yeah, man.
Look, Ron is an overachiever. If he wants to milk a bull, he will get milk out of that bull.
I mean, don't get me wrong; it'll be a high protein output, but it's not going to be nearly as tasty as the milk.
Look, I know very few local comedians that work as hard as Ron does. So if he wants to work that bull and get milk out of it, he will do it, and he will succeed.
Have you guys ever given an old man an enema?
You mean on purpose?
Yes.
No, not on purpose.
You know, would you do it for a friend?
No.
That sounds like an Elton John song. Enema for a friend.
I would wipe a friend's ass if they were physically unable to do it, but there's no way I would do an enema. Nope.
Wow.
You're mean.
No.
Yeah.
Yep. Sorry, I don't want to basically douche your butthole.
Wow.
Well, he wasn't saying his.
I thought it was just like sticking a hose. Listen, I've never had an enema. This is just,
well, it's like
I'm an enema virgin, but I thought it was just like sticking a hose up, like a garden hose up your ass.
It is, but with
more or less
it is. It's exactly like that, but with more butt play.
Can you get? Can you put Can you the warm water instead of like garden hose cold water?
Yeah.
I would think that would be comfortable. I'm not comfortable.
You could do it with anything you want. You could use vinegar. You could use
a gas
Pepsi Cola,
a gas pump.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
just no smoking a cigarette in your ass. Then
E85 ethanol because it's corn based.
Yeah, but don't light your fart when you're done, because that would be bad. Okay, that'd be bad. Okay.
Now let's refresh here. Steven, what are you doing here?
Apparently, he's auditioning for Enemies Are Us.
Well, I like 3 minutes before the program, he said he wasn't going to be coming on the program, and then he's on the program. Like, that's fine.
Well, I got the kids situated, comfortable, gave them some medicine. They're chilling in bed.
Drugged them. He drugged the kids.
I did drug them, but nothing that makes them sleepy though. So
just quiet and compliant. That's good enough. They don't have to sleep. Just
all I'm saying is Casey Anthony may have had a point.
She did, and she drove it right through the kid.
Wow.
What did we learn from that whole situation? Deeper graves.
Don't be Scott.
Or that.
I was thinking of Scott Peterson. I'm sorry, I was conflating Scott Peterson and
piping hot cream of mushroom soup. Is that what they call it?
Psychedelic mushrooms, that would be cool. Like
that would be cool, actually.
My ass is tripping.
And it's one of the 4 food groups.
Right. Do you think Ron's coming back, or he just left us with this view to go like farm or something?
I think he may be going to practice feeling good.
Maybe he's looking for Julia Roberts, but I don't think she's there anymore.
Well, he hasn't called for help because his mic's not on mute. We would have heard him call for help, right?
He could have been abducted by aliens and or skinwalkers.
That's true. That is alien skinwalker country.
It is.
No, I thought Skinwalker was in Nevada. It is in Nevada.
Skinwalkers
you're thinking of Skywalker. He's in Nevada.
I'm thinking of Skinwalker.
Well, Skinwalker Ranch is in Nevada, I believe, but the actual Skinwalkers are a Native American myth that all of the Native American tribes in the country share.
They're not a myth. They're what's that? Oh yeah, that's true.
The house hum. So he's getting a hum job. He's getting a
Hummer. Yeah.
In a Hummer, nice. Okay, well, good for Ron. You know, it's whatever. Good for him.
Yeah.
You know, when you
like
get
I said, he's a whore.
You have a thought, and that thought will leave your head, and then you'll spend the rest of the day saying, "What was that thought?" And that just happened to me.
Oh, he needed coffee
and his purse.
He's a tea drinker. Now that looks like the shadow of a tire, or it's so hard to guess what the hell we're looking at here. But like a shadow of a tractor tire, or the tractor tire is his seat.
And that's his chair. That could tell.
Hello,
Ron's ball cam.
Under Mifflin, nice.
Are you guys following the Tyson Jake Paul thing?
Yeah, apparently he's not fighting him anymore.
No, he is. Like in November now, he pushed it back.
Oh, yeah, in November, but the July fight has been changed to a different opponent. The June fight or whatever.
I guess like Tyson was like me. He needed a good enema and called off or needed to postpone the fight. But then he was back like really angry, putting out angry videos of like he's ready to that's it, man. Jake Paul talking bad about me again. So it's back on.
Ron, you're topless. We can't see anything above your eyelids.
No,
there we go. Much better. Much
ball
better.
Cam, the titty
cam.
Oh
man, I am so erect right now.
It's the hottest show on the internet right now.
Oh, that's good.
Even hotter than crotchlovers.org.
Yep.
Crotchlovers.org.
This got my jimmies going. I swear to God.
So you guys don't care about the fight or this nonsense that's going on about.
As long as I'm not fighting Tyson, I don't care about the rest of the other fights. Tyson's been ducking me for years.
I'm interested in it, but I also wish that he would box real boxers that are currently dangerous.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That he's been ducking me. He's afraid. Tyson knows I'll take him out in 2 punches.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think anybody should be planning anything for November because in November, America might be going the way of Russia. It might be worthless. So, especially after the 5th of November.
But actually, but technically, that wouldn't take effect until January 20th.
Oh no, the mass depression would set in on November 6th. The insanity,
but because I think Biden, honestly, if that happened on November 6th, he would send SEAL Team 8 out to take out his opponent in Mar-a-Lago.
Do you ever fight a SEAL? They're pretty easy to beat.
Not a team of them, one-on-one. Yeah, one-on-one, you can take them out. But when you have a team of them, they're bad.
No, you just get more baseball bats and you're fine.
I think you're thinking of sea lions.
You know, whenever things are like it's a boring day, we just go out on the grassland islands out there and just beat the hell out of baby seals, just crush their brains. It's good, recreational stuff for the day.
I see baby seals haven't been trained. I'm talking about full-grown seals that have been trained to be a team.
Right. No, but when you smash the brains of the baby seals, the mommies want to fight you, the mamas want to fight you, the daddies want to fight you, and so then you get to take on like a whole bunch of seals at once. It's a great. You've never done it. Clearly, you've never had the joy of.
No, but I've known you for like 40 years now, and right. I don't think you have to like club a baby seal for people to want to fight you. I think everybody wants to fight you just meeting you. You don't have to go around clubbing baby seals. That seems like redundant behavior. I guess
well, maybe it's how he feels good though.
All right, look, Ron has had enough. I had enough of these assholes. I'm going back in.
You can't listen. Ron is so sensitive. We're talking about clubbing baby seals. Ron's too sensitive. His heart can't take it. He's going inside to cry.
Did somebody explain comedy to him?
Ron?
Get Will C on the phone. See if he can explain comedy to.
There's no point in trying to explain it to me because I don't understand it.
Right.
We already established I don't know anything about comedy.
So, did you get enough dick last night?
It'll hold me for a while.
I watched you guys get dick last night.
You did?
For a little bit, yeah.
Now, were you impressed by Dick from Down Under?
Bigger than I thought.
Here's the deal.
Good conversationalist. Yeah.
His feed, it still fucking blows my mind. Like the most pristine. He had a picture and audio perfect the whole time for an hour and a half in real time. Now think about the miracle of this. As he's saying the words, we're hearing them live with no delay, and he's all the way. We're here. He's here. The signal has to travel
straight through the earth, straight through the ground, through the molten part, and the core sphere and the middle sphere, and come out the other side. It's amazing.
Yet, if I get some comedian on from Long Island, it's a 5-second delay. And like a pixelated picture that freezes up every 5 seconds.
And that's if they show up.
Right. So how do you reconcile? Like, how does that fucking even possible?
It's simple science, Matt. The person in Long Island, they're communicating via airwaves. It's got to go through the air. Air is not as good a conductor of energy as solid matter. When we're conversing with the people in New Zealand, our frequencies are going straight through the earth. And so the frequencies travel from solid matter closer and better. It's like sound. It sounds better. Sound goes better through a solid than it does through air because the molecules are closer.
I think Ron
is this like Terrence Howard math now that we're doing?
That's what it sounds like.
It
looks like Ron is building.
He's setting up a anti-missile defense system.
No, it's an enema machine.
I'll say he's connected. He's trying to contact the aliens that hover overhead.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Rob, you ordered one of those do-it-yourself endoscopies, didn't you?
Of course. I ordered this from crotchlovers.org.
Now it just turned to palm.com. It was finger.com, but now it's the palm.com.
There we go. That's better.
No, that's fine. It baffles me because and now what you're saying is obviously not true. It doesn't go through.
It's science. It's obviously true. It's science. The molecules in solids are closer, so the energy travels faster and much more better than through an air.
Well, it's science, but it's not English. It's
English is an art, not a science.
Now Steven's kids woke up from the coma, and he's beating them like baby seals.
He doesn't want us to witness it. He does not want us to witness the suffering.
We wouldn't testify against them because we like them. I saw nothing. I know nothing.
So when Lee Chambers comes on, are we allowed to say there's always one in the chamber? Is that like acceptable?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know the thing about Lee Chambers, when I first started this thing, my broken record at that time was there's no such thing as coincidence, because it felt like everything that was going on in my life, like somehow the guests who picked the time themselves were in tune with whatever fucking bullshit I was trying to deal with. Every single guest was like they had a message for me. I'm like, I'm feeling like this is the universe fucking with me. That's
or the messages are just out there and you're just so selfish that you're just claiming all the messages for yourself. So nobody else is getting the message.
No, self-centered is more than selfish. But yeah, you're absolutely right. But so
they could be talking about the effects of menopause on ovaries, and you say they're talking to me.
No, it's like if all of a sudden a commercial for enemas came on right now, it'd be like, look, see,
they're listening.
Yeah. So when I was going through and that was like my broken record mantra. I had no such thing as a coincidence. And then that calendar I had, the original calendar where people would just pick their own dates. Lee Chambers picked 8 p.m. on a Wednesday night, and then 10 minutes later, Lee Chambers picked the 1 o'clock show. I was doing a 1 o'clock show at that time. They picked 1 o'clock on the same Wednesday. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy, Lee Chambers? He's taken 2 shows in the same day. What is this all about? And then I went to write him back, like, you have to pick one. And I was like, in 2 different emails. And so I did a little research, and it turned out there were 2 different Lee Chambers who picked the same day. Now, what are the odds of that? Come on.
Whoa.
753 to 1. It's 753 to 1.
It's got to be higher than that.
No,
so Lee Chambers we got today is the good one. The other guy was like one of these self-help.
Now that's what I was about to ask you. Which Lee Chambers did you get today?
The law of attraction guys, and he was a law of attraction guy, and he had a runny nose the whole fucking show, and he had a tissue up to his nose the whole time.
That's why you should never do coke just before an interview.
Oh no, you started getting the drips, man. That's awful.
Yeah.
It was a really difficult interview. I remember, like, you want to cancel this? I mean, because it's like, like I'm asking questions and he's doing this, and then he's answering doing this. It feels too.
Oh, it's better that than the run. It could have been like the whole show like this. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Let me.
If that happens,
on camera,
feel free to shit yourself and wait till the nurse comes in. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
That's all.
I missed the spot. I missed the spot this morning. No.
Talk amongst yourselves for a second. I got to check my calendar. Do I have a show? No, I don't have a show today.
So, Stephen, what drugs did you give your kids?
Yeah. Children's Tylenol.
Now, when you say children's Tylenol, is that like you cut an adult portion in half and called it children's, or is this like you bought it in a box and it's actually designed for children? What flavor?
The latter, grape.
Grape. What flavors do they come in?
I think there was like grape and cherry. I think.
Okay, because orange was the only flavor when I was growing up. Orange was like the only flavor that children's medicine came in for the longest time. At least children's aspirin. St. Joseph's aspirin for children had like the little. I used to eat it like candy.
When I was a kid, everything was cherry flavored.
Oh yeah, that I think not the only, but the big cherry flavored thing that we got as a kid was Luden's cherry flavored cough drops, which we used to also buy because we could eat that in school and tell the teacher we had a cough because we weren't allowed to eat candy in school.
Oh yeah, when I learned that in school, I did the same thing, and then I'd start getting then kids, dumb kids started getting the chewable, like the chewable cough drops, like the soft chews.
Yeah,
and they would they started eating them in class and started getting sick because they were eating too many of them.
See, what the trick is, what they should have done is emptied the box and put regular candy in there. Who's going to check? Just have and maybe even slip 1 or 2 edibles.
I just want a public service announcement here. This October, if you're going around Halloween trick or treating, don't take your kids to GD's house. That's all I'm saying.
They don't now, but now that they've heard that, they'll probably be flocking because as soon as you tell them not to,
right,
you know what they're going to do.
Yeah,
I'm personally a little upset that I've yet to find weed edibles in my kids' candy on Halloween. I mean, I'd be really excited if I found some, at least for me.
Mm.
Bubblegum, penicillin, yeah.
Not only stealing my spot, but coming around in vertical form.
What's up, Ronford?
Yeah.
Oh,
Someone called me.
Now he's all horizontal. He's doing a horizontal bop. What do we got here? Obviously, Lord of Waves. Oh, we read that one already. Cherry grape and ever scrumptious bubblegum penicillin. Now, did you try giving your kids Mind Bloom?
No, definitely not.
I think there's a free trial. We should all.
Mind Bloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical and personal breakthroughs.
Science backed. I think there's a free trial. I think we should all try this stuff. Have you guys ever done ketamine at all? No.
No, I thought that was like a diet, the ketamine diet.
Mind Bloom is helping people achieve life-changing.
Life-changing. I'm looking for underwear changing.
Mind Bloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical.
No.
Can I not trip out? Like, I just want to experience what it would be like to walk into the kitchen and make a sandwich. I don't want to fight demons on the way.
Do you know?
You have kids already. It's too late.
That's true. That's true. I call them the troglodytes, though, not demons.
You could trip out from bananas. Did you know this?
I know you can slip on them.
I was on the when I was on the Papusa Talk. There's a book. What is it? Some kind of cookbook, some kind of terrorist cookbook or something like that. But they have like bananas in there, and how you can use bananas to make psychedelics. According to the book, the peels of bananas are filled with like some ketamine or something like that, and you scrape the peels of the bananas. So if you have a bunch, you got to scrape all the peels like thoroughly, and then you leave it, and then you kind of make like a gooey thing, and then that'll make you trip out. But you got to have like a big bunch of gooey like banana cum.
Okay, I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen this. We used to have where we lived before we lived here.
Wait, you just changing the subject?
No, this is a continuation.
It's a continuation from banana cum.
Yes, the woods came right up to our back door. Well, they were 10 feet away, and I used to throw all of my scraps outside in the woods for the animals, including like banana peels, orange peels, stuff like that. And we had one squirrel that used to take the banana peels and bury them, and then come back and get them like a week later and eat them when they were nice, like fermented and brown. And I'm like, that squirrel is like getting fucked up. He's like letting the peels get fermented. And I was wondering if y'all have ever had squirrels, ferment their own.
Rocky Chong.
We had an apple tree in our backyard, and the apples would fall, and they'd start to ferment on the ground and everything. And the squirrels and raccoons would just sit there and eat them to the point where they couldn't even climb anymore. They would just walk into the trees in the side of the house all the time. You'd hear them fall out of the tree. Like you just hear a thump, 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 and it was just it's a squirrel.
Thank you. I don't care if you're making that up or not, but at least you validate my reality.
No, 100% true. It was the weirdest thing because our dog started doing it too. He would go out and start chewing on the rotten apples, and he'd get like basically drunk off of it.
See,
squirrels are just heads. They're just heads. That's all. Like,
And that's how addiction gets started. You see squirrels or raccoons do it, and then you start doing it, and next thing you know, the entire animal kingdom, you're like supplying the high for the rest of the animal kingdom in your neighborhood.
yeah. We have groundhogs, we have raccoons, we have baby deers now coming to live with. They're all like, ever since the cats moved in, it's like a free for all back there. It's all
Guys,
it's crazy.
Matt,
It's like a scene from Ghostbusters. Cats and deer living together. Yeah.
That's
actually,
exactly
it's
what
just breaking news that Matt is actually a distant relative of Snow White, and he's attracting all of the animals that she would have normally.
Right.
It's like that song. Okay, that one. Okay. Step into the light. Step into the... I can't remember what show that's from.
The thing is, the turkeys come around to eat the deer ticks, and then the bear or fox and all those things come around to eat the turkeys. It's like that woman. There was an old. I don't know if you know this, but there was an old woman who swallowed a fly.
Did she also live in a shoe?
I don't know why she swallowed a fly. What are you asking me about?
Did she also live in a shoe? Is that the same old woman?
No, that's a different woman. I think she died of foot fungus.
Okay. Now, so which woman went into the cupboard looking for a bone?
It wasn't the same kid with the thumb and the plum.
I'm thinking. I thought that was Little Jack Horner sat in the corner. Stuck
See,
his
the people who
his
wrote
plum
these
inside her.
things were definitely fucked up. They had to be high on something. Kids sticking their thumbs in plums and whatever, and old ladies living in shoes. They were fucking high as a kite. Like
Georgie Porgy.
Yeah. What did he do? Pudding in pie. What the hell does that mean? Pudding in pie.
Yeah.
Was that like American Pie where like you fucked it? Fucked the pie.
Probably.
He put it in a pie, not pudding in pie. See, we've been reading it wrong. It's Georgie Porgy put it in a pie.
That sounds right.
Yeah, it was different times then too. You know, you needed things.
Little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating a Christmas pie. He put in his thumb and pulled out a plum and said, "What a good boy am I."
That's not funny.
No, but that's what the poem is.
No, but make it funny.
Oh, okay.
Hey, oh, hey.
That's it.
That's how you make it funny.
Yeah, went up the hill. Oh,
what a slut! Little Jack Horner sat in the corner, reading his Penthouse mag.
I wonder.
Look at the men.
Could we get
again
guys
and
to just
again.
like relive his glory years and just do a full hour at Madison Square Garden just doing that stuff? He fucked that one-eyed slut. Oh, yeah. But so when Lee comes on, all of us, we have to do this kind of like constantly to him, like be like a pain in the ass. Can you put me in one of your movies? All of us, like just like begging to be in one of his movies. You be in them. Can I get a part in your movie? I'll be an extra.
So in other words, you want me to be myself because I think I do that to everybody who comes on who has anything.
I never heard you do that once. Have you guys ever heard him do that once?
No, never, ever.
Nope.
I don't think I've ever heard him do that once. Oh no, he actually did it last night. Come to think of it, he asked Dick.
Oh, he was begging for Dick.
He was begging for Dick.
Well, I wasn't begging. I was trying to compromise.
Now here's the deal. My wife was listening, and because Dick said the part of his protagonist was a 6'5" French Canadian. And I said, 6'7" French Canadian. I said I was 6'9", and she came into the show. She said, "Do you ever edit your program like when you're done?" Yeah, sometimes, once in a while, but not mostly. She said, "I think he meant to say 5'9". I'm like, "I'm not 5'9". I'm 6 foot." She said, "I heard you say 6'9". I don't want you lying to people." I was like, "I think people know I was fucking kidding. I'm not 6'9". I'm 6 foot even."
Yeah. See, Well, nobody can tell now that I'm in the wheelchair, so I tell everyone I'm 6 foot.
Wide.
Obviously. Geriatric jerk.
Steven,
I don't
Steven,
even
what
know
happened to
anybody
the
named Jerry.
Steven, didn't you used to have like a stalker in the comments who like she really loved your face or something? What happened to her? Did y'all hook up and you got rid of the body?
No, I don't know what happened to her. She just disappeared.
I'm supposed Matt was supposed to have me. Matt from Moturn Media he promised me a part in his movie 2 years ago, and he's made like 4 movies since then, and I've never gotten a call yet.
I thought he misspelled modern. I was trying to figure out what modern media.
That's what I thought he meant to write too. Was modern.
Matt, what's Matt's last name again? Matt
Napo.
No, not this Matt. The other
Matt
Matt.
Snapple.
He's filming a movie right now, and in my area, I believe, and he's still not calling me. And you know, I promote his stuff pretty good. Why is he not calling me? We got to get him. What is Matt's name? It's
Kelp. But that's Nate.
Farley. Matt Farley, right? Matt Farley. Yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about. So
I had to do this to think of Chris Farley, and what's his name? Oh, there, yeah, Chris Farley. Oh, Matt.
Is
Farley.
he the same shape as Chris Farley?
No,
I'm not dead.
Matt is
I'm not dead.
Matt is best known for poo songs. Poop songs. Poop
songs.
Poop songs. Well,
okay.
He's got the Guinness World Record for most songs written and published, and he was on the Tonight Show doing his poop songs, like GD's poop song, Ron's poop song, maybe Steven's poop song.
Now, is it the same music, just different words for every song?
No, it's a unique poop song for every name in the lexicon of names. And he writes them like he'll do like 500 songs a week and put it. So like there's nobody ever going to catch him in the realm of prolific songwriting. It's just
and does he copyright every song? Isn't it like $20 a song?
Maybe he's saying the songs are shitty. But I said that as a joke because they're all about poop. Anyway, what is he saying? Check out the song "Poop and Move Fingernails." Move fingernails. My fingernails.
Everybody poops, man. Everybody poops.
Right.
And now Ron is doing his like rap lyrics. Everybody poops. Yeah.
Poop into a wormhole. Dude.
I feel like I'm on a movie set. That's what I feel.
Yeah. Look, could you go shoot Alec Baldwin?
I could try.
That's where he was. He was right there. He was like, you see that whatever that is behind you there. He was hiding behind that when he shot the dude.
Now, is that a water tower or a corn silo or grain silo to your
now this is a chimney. This is actually
I thought you were
a
going to say
metal
it's
chimney.
like a dead body repository or something.
Because
this is where we hide.
Because I'm sitting out on a deck, and then underneath there's this chimney, and there's a wood stove down there.
Oh, okay. So that's not. I thought it was something in the distance, but that's like right behind you. So it just object is larger than it appears.
Yeah.
Or smaller than it appears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that our last sign is actually a billboard.
And I can still see the molehill behind you.
That's actually a billboard out on the expressway. It's about 100 feet by 40 feet.
Yeah, Jesus saves.
Now, are you wearing sunscreen, Ron? Because we're really we're concerned about you out there in that hot desert sun. Are you wearing sunscreen?
Yeah, I'm protecting myself when I'm outside.
I'm not talking about condoms. We're talking about your skin, not your foreskin.
I did see a billboard yesterday that said Jesus was calling, but the problem was it was an iPhone 3, so no wonder no one's getting his calls. I mean, those things have been rendered obsolete for a couple years now.
It could be worse. You could be using what's that thing called, a BlackBerry?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You notice?
Or one of those Nextel phones, the little Nextel walkie-talkie phones.
Right.
Where are you at?
Beeper. He just had a beeper. He doesn't even have a cell phone yet.
He only receives faxes.
Will you have a beeper, guys?
Yeah.
I was a beeper
I was a child when the beeper was a thing.
I remember being on the expressway getting a beep from my ex-wife. I was driving a van, and I got a beep from my ex-wife, and I just rolled down the window and threw the beeper out on the expressway, and that was the end of my beeper days. I don't know what the hell made me ever get a beeper in the first place. Like, they were supposed to be for important people, not for just...
Yeah, see, mine was because of my job. Mine wasn't because if I wanted a beeper.
I didn't even have a job. I was a musician. We don't need beepers. Like, oh, we got a music emergency.
That's exactly why you do need it when you're a musician, because you're always just one chord away from another gig.
That's right.
Then you'd get the beep with the number, then like the 911 behind it.
And it says boobs.
Right, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot you put in numbers, and then we were trying to figure out how do you manipulate numbers to say words and stuff. But it was a very limited vocabulary you could put in there. It's like
but boobs, right?
Yeah, everybody did boobs. Yeah,
boobs. Oh, the good old days of technology. Where would we be without? It's time for news. That's where we would be.
Oh, it's news time.
Yeah, Ron doesn't like the news, but the news is good for you. It helps you learn what's going on in the world. And Alan Edwards is right on top of it, as always. He plays some really shitty music, and then he says some really stupid stuff, and then he plays some more shitty music, and then they say some more shitty stuff.
President Joe Biden joined gun control advocates in advancing more initiatives to address gun violence and highlighted his administration's stricter gun laws.
Biden's pre-scheduled remarks at the advocacy group Everytown's Gun Safety University Conference in Washington, D.C. came hours after his son Hunter was convicted on 3 felony counts in his federal gun trial in Delaware. The president did not mention his son or the case during his remarks Tuesday afternoon. Liam White reporting.
Cautioning about the far-right Project 2025 agenda for a potential Donald Trump White House, a group of House Democrats has launched a task force to begin countering the proposal and prevent it from taking root if the Republican former president regains power.
Democratic Representative Jared Huffman of California is unveiling the Stop Project 2025 task force on Tuesday, the latest sign that congressional Democrats and outside groups are treating Trump's campaign seriously in the expected rematch against Democratic President Joe Biden this fall. The stakes just couldn't be higher, Huffman asserted. Kyle Norris reporting.
Officials from the United States revealed that the country will send Ukraine an additional Patriot missile defense system.
The officials confirmed that President Joe Biden has authorized the move. It would be the second Patriot system that the U.S. has provided to Ukraine, although the Pentagon has routinely supplied an undisclosed quantity of missiles for the system. Other allies, including Germany, have also furnished air defense systems as well as munitions for them. Joseph Eckerson reporting.
Sorry, Joe. We weren't
Tuesday that it had provided intermediaries with its response to the U.S.-backed proposal for a ceasefire in Gaza, seeking certain amendments to the agreement.
The reply seemed to fall short of an outright acceptance that the United States has been advocating for, but kept alive negotiations over an elusive halt to the 8-month conflict. The foreign ministries of Qatar and Egypt, who have been key mediators alongside the United States, acknowledged receiving Hamas's response and stated that mediators were evaluating it. Benjamin Wright reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
Banana giant Chiquita Brands must pay $38.3 million to 16 family members of people killed during Colombia's long civil war by a violent right-wing paramilitary group funded by the company, a federal jury in Florida decided.
The verdict by a jury in West Palm Beach marks the first time the company has been found liable in any of multiple similar lawsuits pending elsewhere in U.S. courts, lawyers for the plaintiffs said. It also marks a rare finding that blames a private U.S. company for human rights abuses in other countries. Jim Kender reporting.
A 24-year-old Texas man was charged with brazenly selling illegal guns and firearm parts while incarcerated in a Louisiana prison.
The suspect, Hayden Espinoza of Corpus Christi, Texas, allegedly sold weapons and gun components to an undercover New York City police officer in a case Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg described on Tuesday as the confluence of guns and extremism. Paul Gomez reporting.
One person was fatally shot in connection with a bus hijacking that prompted a police police chase through 2 Georgia counties on Tuesday, authorities said.
Police responded to a report of gunfire on a Gwinnett County transit bus and a possible hostage situation, the Atlanta Police Department said. There were 17 people on the bus at the time, including the bus driver, according to Atlanta Police Chief Darren Shearbaum. The suspect, a 39-year-old man from Stone Mountain, was taken into custody without further incident, police said. Lawrence Keller reporting.
A federal judge struck down a 2023 Florida law that prohibited gender-affirming care for transgender minors and severely restricted such treatment for adults, ruling the statute unconstitutional.
Senior Judge Robert Hinkle said the state overreached when it barred transgender minors from being prescribed puberty blockers and hormonal treatments with their parents' consent. He also stopped the state from requiring that transgender adults only receive treatment from a doctor and not from a registered nurse or other qualified medical practitioner. Jessica Oakley reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
I think I'm having a stroke. See my face doing this? That means I'm having a stroke. Thank you for that news report, Al. Come back again tomorrow and give us some more news that nobody cares about. It seems like bananas are the topic of the day.
Yeah, and I don't know if Alan knew that or not.
Chiquita bananas. That was Chiquita, right?
I thought he said Chiquita, but it could have been Dole, but I thought it was Chiquita.
Now, did you guys ever, were you guys, because Ron brought up the other day that he used to be work for Frito-Lay, and I immediately went back to the Frito Bandito in my childhood. I am the Frito Bandito. You guys remember the Chiquita banana?
Lady, the Chiquita banana lady.
I'm the Chiquita banana, and I'm here.
Wasn't her name Carmen? Wasn't that was her name was Carmen something?
It was takeoff on Carmen Miranda. I don't know.
Right. Oh, Carmen Electra. Is that her name? No.
No, Carmen Electra was that hottie from Baywatch.
Yeah, Frito. They would do everything they could not to talk about the Frito Bandito.
Really?
Oh yeah.
And they wind up, but they wind up. What they do? They send your job to him anyway.
Yeah. Hey, this is HR. We understand you've been talking about the Frito Bandito again. Is that the way it would go? Like HR would call you up and like, Ixnay on the Andito Bay.
Yeah, or occasionally, like when we were cleaning out stuff, we would find like some old marketing materials.
Was that considered racist or something?
Yeah, they can. It doesn't play too well to what they're they're all about diversity.
I gotta take off out of here. My kids are puking. I will talk to you later or tomorrow.
That's what happens when you dose them too much.
Go murder
I
your
know,
kids.
man.
No.
Good luck.
We advocate murdering your children.
No, but they would hide that because or do anything because they're all about diversity and inclusion and.
Well, diversity. You got your little beaner spokesperson. I'm sorry. I just cancel myself for that. I'm sorry. But I just want to say that if Cheech Marin were here, he would support me saying beaner. I would just.
He would, yeah, because he had a song called Beaners.
Beaners.
And also Mexican Americans.
Yeah.
They don't like to get up early. They don't like to go to work.
Mexican Americans.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, and context is everything.
Yeah.
Now, shit, I forgot.
Now.
Looney Tunes, not Looney Tunes. It was Looney Tunes or Merry Melodies, the Roadrunner people.
I think you're thinking of Speedy
Gonzalez. Yes, that's where I was going to go. I mean, did they get rid of him because he was? I don't want to say. I think
he was bringing his finest. He was sending rapists and murderers.
Yeah, and also he was like a stereotype. He was a stereotype because we all know Mexican mice are very, very fast.
It was raping.
I think it fell. Check that side of the bed.
Whoa! The tractor just took off.
Oh, thank God it was a tractor. I thought his wife had gas.
The Frito Bandito like girls named Debbie too.
Well, I think they lost Speedy a couple years ago, like when they lost Pepe Le Pew. Because I'm not sure if you remember, like when we went through that whole thing with like Aunt Jemima and all that. Pepe Le Pew was one of those that came up. Like he's too sexually aggressive.
Right. I remember. Yeah.
He's a skunk.
a cartoon skunk yet.
And not only that, the cat actually liked him when he smelled nice.
Yeah.
When he's
I don't remember
when she
the
couldn't
cat
when she
actually
couldn't
ever.
smell him, she really liked him. But it was only when she could smell him that she didn't like him.
Now, Rappler says the speed Frito Bandito like girls named Debbie too. Also, I don't know. Does that mean that Rappler likes girls named Debbie, or that I like? I mean,
I think he likes. I think he's talking about Little Debbie, and you think you like him a little bit older, or maybe she's older and she's just petite. Is that what they mean? I've never met her.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know what he means by that. Rappler, please clarify your Debbie statement there, because we're all waiting with bated boners.
Yeah, you can have more than 250 characters.
Right. Now, speaking of like brands and Mexicans and beaners and all that kind of stuff, when Corona happened, when the pandemic hit,
The beer
Corona,
or the okay, I'll say the beer or the pandemic.
yeah. Well, when the pandemic happened, people dodged Corona like the beer, like that was coronavirus came from Corona beer or something. I don't know what people think, but they switched to Molson. Now, Molson is Corona in a different bottle. It's the same.
No, Molson tastes much better than Corona, especially Molson Ice.
It's actually the same piss from the same.
No, Molson is from Canadian Bears, and Corona is from Mexican Mules. Everybody knows that.
Coors Light, Molson, Canadian, blah blah blah.
The way that originally sounded is like, normally after I have about 4 Coronas, that's when the racism in me comes out.
It's all the same thing. It's from the same tap. They just call it Canadian or Mexican or whatever.
Yeah, listen, whether I have 4 Coronas or 5 Molson Ices, either way, the racism is coming out.
How except for 5 Molson Ices, they have more kick than a Corona. Corona is like watered down cat urine. And believe me, I know
they're the exact same price, and they get delivered by the same exact truck to the supermarket. Because I've seen it. I've been there and watched the guy unloading the
yeah, and my truck, there's a truck outside that delivers our Chewy and also furniture, and they're not made by the same people.
They are.
It's the same guy. He delivers our Chewy, and he came back and delivered the treadmill, and then came back and delivered more Chewy. It's not coming from the same company, just the same truck.
I guess this is in my opinion, Corona tends to skunk a bit fast due to clear bottle, hence the lime. No, the lime. You want to know what the lime is about? You know what the lime is about, right? You know the lime.
Yeah. You put the lime in the coconut, and you drink it all down.
But the reason for the lime in the Corona bottles?
I thought it was to add flavor, because I thought it just tastes like crap. But I never drank.
You're wrong, as usual. You're wrong.
I never had a Corona, so I have no idea.
If you go down to Baja, Mexico, you'll find that pretty quickly. You can go into any bar and order a beer. If you get a beer in a bottle, they'll put a lime in it. It doesn't matter if it's Corona or Budweiser or Miller or any shitty beer that you buy. Not by the way, if Miller wants to advertise, they're not a shitty beer. They're the best beer ever. But they just put a lime in it because in Baja, Mexico, if you leave beer out, you get flies on the rim of your beer bottle, and sometimes they go in and take a dip and die in there.
Yeah, they don't come back out.
So the limes are just they're not
insect repellent
consumed at all. Yeah, they're basically to keep the flies out of your drink.
Like citron and like citronella. Okay, like citronella.
Yeah. The delivery is a distributor, not actual brewer brand, and distributor. Many brands delivers many brands. That's true, but they're actually the same company that produces them. It's all I believe it's Miller. The same people that do Miller do Corona and Molson, but it's all one company.
And Matt, we have a chamber in the chamber.
Oh, we have one in the chamber. Well, I wait till Ron comes back it would be rude to introduce our guest to an empty chair. That's all I'm saying.
Clint Eastwood did it.
Ron, you have to ask for permission to go to use the ladies' room. You just can't get up and walk away.
Sorry, I was going to get a vape. I was trying to find a lighter.
You have to ask permission to go to the ladies' vape room.
Wait a minute, are you about to get stoned and without us?
Is that what you're doing? Is that like a THC vape, or is that like a
This is THC. I was going to light a J, but my wife has the lighter, and she just got up.
We've mentioned the Lee Chambers, the good Lee Chambers, because I had 2 Lee Chambers in one day, about 5 or 6 years ago now on the program. The good Lee Chambers, though, the good interview, the guy who was fun to talk to, is here now. He's a producer and director of many films, with support from 4 Academy Award winners, including Roger Corman, who is Iran's idol. Anyway, he's here now. He's also a big fan of U.S. politics, so we'll talk about that. Good morning, Lee. Good to see you.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Nice to see everybody.
We finally got to meet you because you were listening to us last night, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I just tuned on it that I got to listen to a little bit of Matt before tomorrow, and then he mentioned my name, and I heard you guys talking about shaving goatees, and I thought, am I supposed to do that?
Oh, you know what? Everybody's got one except me. Maybe I'm supposed to go get one.
Walmart. There's a Walmart down the street, isn't there? I have to ask you, are you related to Marilyn Chambers?
No, I'm not.
Did y'all used to date and you took her last name?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Ivory Snow Girl. That's who he's referring to. I think I just know her from commercials back in the 60s.
I only know her from Ivory Snow. Did she did something other than Ivory Snow?
Right. No, I think that's it. That's
okay.
So Lee, where are you? Where are you back in Canada? You were on the road, right? You were doing some traveling.
I've been on the road my whole life. I'm a nomad. Australia, England. I lived in LA for a while. I was actually in Florida too. So I've been all over the place. So right now I'm back in Canada. I was born and raised in Canada. So I'm in Regina, Saskatchewan right now.
Have you ever been to New Zealand?
I have not. No.
Because that guest we had on last night is a New Zealander. And
technically he's a Canadian, right?
He's
but he moved to New Zealand.
Yeah, he born in Canada, but then lived in the U.S. for a long time, and then moved to New Zealand. But it was I was looking at the geography for since the first time since I was 9 years old of the world, and realizing that we think of Australia and New Zealand as right next to each other, but they're New York and L.A. Really.
They're a long way away, yeah.
Yeah, really far away. But the reason your name came up is because he's an author of thrillers that have a comedic bent to them. And we were talking about books being made into movies. You don't see books being made into movies anymore. I know you do. You write your own books and then turn them into movies. But it seems like movies in general, they're just out of good ideas. The Hollywood movie making machine. It's just out of good ideas. All they want to do is rehash comic books and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's how many times can you do a reboot of Batman, right? Or Spider-Man? It's
18.
Yeah, 18.
Well, 18 on the Batman, 23 on the Spider-Man.
Right. What are we up to now? Are we getting close to that? Can we finally make some movies that are original and thought-provoking and entertaining to the audience?
We haven't done Fast and Furious 22 yet, and Halloween did 20 movies, at least 20 because they're H2O, or 20.
Hollywood wants to make stuff it's all about the money, right? It's all about taking something that is already established. The one I heard years ago was that a guy goes in to see his studio executives and says, "I've got a movie idea." And says, "What is it?" He goes, "Jell-O, the movie." And they go, "Greenlit." Everybody knows what Jell-O is, so it's an easy sell. You can just put the Jell-O package on there, and people go, "Oh, I've heard of Jell-O." But when you have an original idea and you put it out into the market, you have to educate them about what it is. Why should I go see this? I don't know what this story is. But when you say, "Oh, I've got a Batman movie," people go, "Okay, I know Batman, so I'll go and pay the money to go see it." So it's difficult. It's difficult to break through with original stuff.
Do you feel it's worse now because of how many companies have merged, and there's basically 3 media companies now, if that?
Yeah, that doesn't help, because I think the more they all merge together, the more it's about the bottom line, right? So it's about profit. I think anybody who makes a movie, I think, is thinking about a return on investment. Everyone's thinking they want to make a good movie and they want to make money, but I think when independents really struggle, because not only is the funding apparatus surrounding. You've got to make a, they spend just as much money marketing it as they do making the damn thing, right? So an independent that doesn't have the money to make the movie in the first place doesn't have the movie to market it either. So then it just goes nowhere. So what are you going to do?
So what do you do to make movies? It does require some financial backing. What do you do? Do you go reach out to people that have money and say and try to pitch them like, I got a great idea, and they're first going to say, well, how am I going to make my money back? And how am I going to make a profit from this? But how do you without the backing of Hollywood or some major studio, how do you go about even getting a movie made these days?
Yeah, well, it was 10 years ago, I went to Canada on my Pineville Heist movie. And when I spent a couple of years trying to find the money for it. And in Canada, it's great because there's some public money. There's a lot of provincial and federal agencies that actually support through grants in different aspects to actually make movies. I got none of them. They look at me and go, you've made lots of shorts, but you've never made a feature before, and it's a huge risk. So I got cut out of everything. So I'm like, okay, so what am I going to do? So my $2 million movie went to a $1 million movie to a $500,000 movie to eventually I had to make it for about $120,000. And what worked for me was I managed to write the book of the screenplay. And I put that out into the market and did a little bit of promotion for it, and it sold like 42,000 copies. That generated interest from investors. So people who, and most of my investors invested because they like the book, because a book is consumable, right? So people read books, and it's all, all the flower and all the color and everything is all in a book. But a screenplay is literally just a blueprint document that people use to make a movie. So it's usually stripped of a lot of details, right? He rolled by in a truck, but in a book, it's like, the color of the truck and how rusty it is. And people get into the nuances of a story through an actual novel, and a screenplay doesn't. So the book, when I released the book, I had investors who were like, read the book, loved the characters, loved the story, and then came on board as investors. So that was a smart move on my part to do that. And most people aren't. Like, most independent filmmakers aren't turning their screenplays into books in order to go back to make a movie. Usually it's either already a book, or they make a book of the screenplay when it's done. Like Tarantino or the Coen brothers will release their screenplays into books that you can buy at Barnes and Noble. And I'm doing the opposite. So my movie hasn't been made yet, but I've gone through a lot of development over the last 4 years on my screenplay, to the point where I just want to go and shoot it. So now it's the ability for people to actually read the story now. So my new one, Conviction, that one's just passed about 5,000 sales on Amazon.
Right. What I just heard you say is that I've been giving bad advice to authors for the last 6 years, because what I've been saying to them is Hollywood or filmmakers are generally lazy. They don't want your book. They want, because that means then they have to adapt it into a screenplay. They want it already. They want you to do all the work. That's what I've been telling people. That's wrong.
There's lots of different ways. I mean, a lot of times, a writer who's never been published or who's never had their stuff made before has a real hard time. But I used to say that I could take my 100-page screenplay for Conviction, and if I took the cover off and put Aaron Sorkin on the front of it and passed it around Hollywood, I bet you people would be like, oh, let's go make this. Like, right. It would be his name value would be what would help get it made. There's a lot of writers out of there, so obviously there's, you can package and market things and make them look good, but you still at the core, at the substance, have to make sure the content is good. So, spell checking it, making sure it's, you've got really good character development and really smart dialogue, and its format is pitch perfect. Those things need to be in place. But name value carries a lot of weight in Hollywood. They'd probably want to take my stuff and give it to another writer and pay him $100,000 to polish it up.
change a word.
I wish they would give me $100,000 to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
Why don't you change your name to Aaron Sorkin then?
This is the best idea I've heard all day. Thank you very much. I will do that. And you know what? I'll be on your show in a couple of months, and you'll be so excited about having Aaron Sorkin on the show.
Just to be fair, when he says all day, it's very early. He'll hear better ideas.
But exactly, there's a lot of time for more ideas.
Okay, well, here's an idea. Do you have any parts in a movie for a guy as good looking as me?
Well, I'm looking at the screen. I see 4 guys. I'll direct it, and then I have 3 other actors already cast. So,
all right. Can I play the black guy? That way I don't have to work so hard.
I thought you were a Jamaican woman. Didn't we discuss this last night?
I was a Latino woman last night.
Latino woman.
But
right. You're a black guy today, Latino yesterday. What will you be tomorrow is the question.
What's the check for? What's the check for?
He'll be a full-blooded Papoosatuk. So yeah, we talk about name recognition. Do you put as much emphasis on trying to get a Hollywood recognizable face? Because I've had some people on who and they use people like Dean Cain. Like Dean Cain is a recognizable. He's not an A-list celebrity. He's not going to make you film. People rush out to go see a film because Dean Cain is in it, but they felt like, that's an important thing to have somebody who's recognizable. The idea of a really good actor or Dean Cain. Now, I'm not trying to get you to kind of bash Dean Cain. I'll do the bashing of Dean Cain. But
or you could just reach out to Tony Torrentino. That's Quentin's father, because Tony makes movies, and you can just call it a Torrentino film. And they won't know if it's Tony or Quentin. It's just a Torrentino film. So
there you go.
And Tony is much cheaper than Quentin, huh?
Is it important to get like somebody who, I don't know, like known?
Yeah. From a sales point of view, yeah. I mean, what sells is a face on a poster that people recognize. So if it's an original story and they don't know about Jell-O and they don't know about Batman, and you're trying to sell it. I mean, I remember I've been to the Cannes Film Festival and the American Film Market a number of times. And what's interesting is that you'll see posters for movies that are in either development or they're completed and they're trying to sell them around the world. And I remember one movie, and I don't remember the name of it, but it had Christian Slater, just a big poster of him with a gun pointing at somebody. And I'm like, I've never heard of that before. And I don't think it ever came out as anything significant here in North America. But I talked to the sales agent, and it's like, yeah, but it was massive in Asia. And so the media that we get here, like if I'm talking just movies, we're only getting a little small sliver of what is actually being really sold around the world. There's a lot of stuff that is big in other countries. Like my movie did really well in Spain. A friend of mine had a movie where it did well in Turkey and other places in Asia. So when you look at how many screens we have in the cinema, and you look at how many weeks we have, there's 52 weeks where we can have a week premiere on a Friday. There's only so many movies that can be pushed out in the cinema. So what happens to all those other movies? Some of them don't break through in America or Canada. Some of them just do well in other territories, in other, whether it's streaming, whether it's VOD, whether it's just free television, all that other stuff. So there's but you need a name. You need somebody that's gonna, whether it's
yeah, but Dean
Cain.
What about this? I hate to obsess on Dean Cain, but like, if I say, you know what? First of all, I don't really like the guy personally for other reasons. But I mean, like a B-list celebrity like that, I don't think that's going to get anybody to say, "Oh, I gotta see that," right?
This is what you do. Here's the solution. My God, I can't believe this. I've been sitting on this gold mine for all of these years. Okay, you cast your movie with nothing but body doubles from porn because they look like regular stars. Okay, and you don't use the names. You just show the cast photo of all these body doubles from porn, and everybody will look. Oh my God, it's got Julia Roberts and it's got Brad Pitt. He's got George Clooney, and they're nothing but you don't use the names. You just show the images of the porn doubles and as the cast.
So you can use me, and they'll be like, "Oh, God, he's got Groucho Marx and
Groucho and
Jesse Ventura in the same movie."
Yeah, You know, and you can like Ron Kane. They're like, "Oh my God, he's got David Tell in this movie. What part is he playing?" See, you can do, or you can put me in there like, "Oh my God, they got that Latino woman, that 35-year-old Latino woman from down under."
And this is the Latino woman with the goatee, right?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Right. Okay. Just want to clarify that for the studio notes later.
Yeah, she's married to the Frito Bandito.
Yeah. So that's how you do it, and that's how you get the money. You produce it with double-bodied porn stars, and the thing is, the porn fans will know who they are as soon as they see it. You know, and they're expecting everybody to get naked because they know these people. And even if they don't get naked, they know what they look like naked, so they imagine them like that. Man, we're sitting on gold. We've got to work together. I can't believe Matt, you got to release me from my contract so I can sign up with Lee. You got
You're out. You're out. Don't worry about it. What is this Mike Chavot saying ugly? I think it's probably part of this. 2024 will bring a wave of novel adaptations to screens, with Netflix leading the charge and creating new movies and series from best-selling books from Holland Coleman Fool Me Once to Scott Westland's Uglies. 2024 will see a variety of novels making their way to theaters and platforms. Well, I guess that's good news. What is your take on the future of movies and how are theaters going to be outdated? Like people stop going to theaters altogether and we'll just have like straight to streaming everywhere?
I think you'll still have theaters. I think it's dropped off a little bit because there's a lot more options and different things, and people want stuff now, right? You know, I remember as a kid when a movie would come out in the cinema, and you're like, and if you missed it, be like, oh, I can't wait for 2 years from now when I can go and watch it on a super channel or whatever.
Rent the VHS.
And a year later, it might be on a VHS cassette that I can rent. Now it's like a movie comes out and it could be out in streaming within a week, or sometimes even less. And so people want to. So part of it, I think, is to combat piracy, right? So in the past, we just accepted the fact you had to wait 2 years to see it. Now people like, if they have the ability to go and steal it, they will, right? So I think they'll still have cinemas. People, I mean, I still love going and watching it being engrossed on a big screen with big sound, bigger than, I know everyone's got big 70-inch TVs now, but, to see it on a 50-foot screen or an IMAX is pretty good.
My concern is this, and I know being from Canada, you probably never heard of this, but we have this sport called baseball down here. And to get people to go back to baseball, they made so much of that's not about the game. If you go to a baseball game now, it's about them shooting T-shirts up into the stands and like people running around and all these contests in between innings and nobody's looking at the game anymore. They brought in all this nonsense to baseball parks, swimming pools in the baseball park and that kind of stuff that they get people back in. Oh, look at that. But they're not. Nobody's there to actually see the game. And I think from what's happening here, what I can see, movie theaters are doing a lot of that kind of stuff too now. They're having like little play areas for kids and bring the kids, bring the family. And eventually it'll be like, yeah, went to the movie theater to see the movie, but don't have
movies should go to having a bat day. You know, they should have like, just like they did, ballparks. They have bat day and hat day and those kinds of days.
Yeah, and they're putting in like these personal sofas for everybody in movie theaters. It's like I'm just going to go there and take a nap. This is my when I want to get away from my family and just go take a nap someplace.
Hey, I went to one in Australia and they had beanbags. So literally, Billy, you rent a beanbag and you crash in a beanbag. Hey, and by the way, just so you know, Canada did win the baseball, right?
Oh, so you've heard of it.
Oh, yeah. We've got the Blue Jays, Toronto Blue Jays in the 90s. They won a couple back-to-back championships. So yeah, I'm with you on this one.
Because
I'm from Baltimore.
David Cohn.
I'm from Baltimore, and we won a Grey Cup in football, in Canadian football.
I'm sorry,
one
we've
year.
never heard of Baltimore. Where is that? In that New Zealand?
It's in Canada. That's why we had a Grey Cup team.
Yeah, for myself, like me and my wife, we still love actually going to the movie theater because I think seeing a movie in a theater is just a better experience. And part of the reason I think people don't come out is because there's just not enough interesting films out at theaters for people to go see. Because
Well,
why do you...
keep in mind that you're a guy who likes to put his foot on the camera, so you're not representative of the masses. That's all I'm saying.
And also, Ron, you have 9 kids at home. That's why you want to get out of the house, to get away, so you can go to the movies. It's quiet. You don't have the
Hey,
kids.
if you take your 9 kids to the movies, that's what is that, about $700? Because you know, when you buy,
that's about $500.
That's why he leaves the kids at home. It's just him and the wife going.
Yeah.
And then he tells the movie theater people that his wife is actually 6 years old, so she can get in free.
Yeah.
But the theater is still a much better experience than just being at home. Especially when you see, it would be nice if they actually made fucking comedies again. Because it's great seeing a comedy with a group of people.
Ron,
well, that reminds me when Lee was
porn.
mentioning Jello, I wanted to ask him, could he swap in Pop-Tart instead of Jello?
Yeah, they could. We could get Jerry Seinfeld to direct it.
Yeah. Any thoughts on that movie?
Meh. Man, I don't know. There was I did watch it. There were a few funny moments, but not enough to make it memorable.
Right.
It wasn't sponge-worthy.
I wasn't, and not only that, but I remember there was a few funny moments, but I don't remember what those funny moments are anymore. So it can't be that memorable.
And that was the funeral scene with the Ave Maria stuff.
Yeah.
My favorite part was with the Walter Cronkite guy when he just kind of loses it at the end.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, but so a movie like that will get made because of Jerry Seinfeld's. Well, he's a billionaire; he could probably make it himself. But they'll Netflix put a ton of cash behind that. It's already gone, right? That's not gonna. It's not like nobody's. It had like a lifespan. Because when I was a kid, and I know we're talking 100 years ago, but movies would have lifespans of years and years, and now they're very disposable. They come and they go like instantly, and they're done unless they're like.
Oh yeah, when they used to come out on the cinema, and they would people would be lined around the block for a couple months over summer, and you know, and now they're out in a week, and then the box office drops off massively over the second week, and then that's it.
Right.
And then they just exist as a library catalog that you can sort of maybe find again down the road. I mean, some movies do. They have you know, sort of a crappy time on like, I think one of the movies that influenced me was Blade Runner, and when Blade Runner came out, it did crappy. I mean, it in the big screen. I remember seeing it in the big screen as a kid, and I loved it, but it didn't do good business at all. I mean, it took a few years later when finally it came out on VHS and then in Laserdisc and all this other stuff, where it actually found a life and became you know, a classic and an epic film that was worthy of actually making a sequel. Right? Until then, it wasn't doing good business at all.
But I was about to ask you, because back in the day, like back when Ron was a kid, not me because I'm not that old, but back when Ron was young, a movie going from the theater to television took like, you know, almost 6 or 7 months, sometimes maybe even a year. And now it's like it's in the theaters, and maybe 10 days later it's being streamed. So do you think that affects the fact that that people don't go to the movie because they know they can see it in 10 days? If they just wait 10 or 20 days, they'll see it in the comfort of their home on a 70-inch screen, as opposed to, you know, paying for all that popcorn and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. Like, if someone goes and pays their $10 to get Netflix for a month, but you go to the cinema and it's like $20 to go see it in the cinema. You think, I can watch one movie here, or I could sit and binge watch a ton of stuff at home. It's a hard sell to get somebody now to pay the money to go to the cinema. I mean, even sometimes I go. I'll pick to go on a Tuesday just because, you know, Tuesday is the day when they usually have a cheaper tickets. Right. And so I'll go and say, hey, look, I'm going to go and save $8. To me, I can save $8, and that actually pays for my Netflix. I get to see a big screen movie, and I get to pay for my Netflix. Right?
Yeah.
That's my logic anyway. That's my math, I guess.
But you are starting to see that.
Yeah.
You are starting to see on Netflix, though, that movies that do terribly at the box office are starting to have second and third, sometimes third and fourth lives on Netflix because people find them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. It's the same comparison to like the Blade Runner thing, right? People, You know, if it's out in the cinemas for only a couple of weeks and you miss it, and then what are you going to do? There needs to be another platform for you to see it. And so we live in an age now where, remember when we used to watch back in, say the 80s, when you wanted to watch TV, you had to be home at 8 o'clock at night to watch that show. And so you're like, I can't now. Do you want to hang out on Tuesday night? Can't, buddy. I got to go watch A-Team, right? So now it's like people can decide what they want to watch when they want to watch it, and they want it now. They don't want to wait 6 months or a year or whatever. They want it right away. I have gone and seen some movie. What's interesting is that sometimes Netflix will do, or Amazon Prime will do premieres of movies in the cinema, I think primarily just so they will qualify for the Oscars. So they've taken the David Fincher's movie Killer that came out. They did a limited run in the cinemas, and I went and paid 2 months worth of Netflix to watch it on the big screen, to see it on the big screen and to live it on the big screen. Which I like I said, I like doing that. I like seeing stuff on the big screen. I think it lives in my memory better, and it's a more immersive experience than watching it at home. See, at home, the problem is even if you've got a big TV, you still have somebody in the other room going, "Hey, did you put out the garbage?" And and they're like, "I'm just going to pause and I'm going to go and get a beer." And you're taken in and out of the experience by anything that might be around you. When you're in the cinema, that's it, black walls, and then boom, all you have is that and all the sound around you. So it is a better.
And it's also like a community experience. I remember when I saw Blazing Saddles in the theater first time. I remember I was laughing so hard with everybody else, I fell out of my chair. And when I fell out of the chair, I fell on a guy who fell out of his chair into the aisle.
Yeah. Were you sitting at the back, and did it go all the way down?
Yeah. Graded seating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what you explained is that why I'm an advocate of murdering your whole family whenever you have anything to do, is so that you can have peace and quiet and watch a movie as it's meant to be seen. Yeah. So now, do you work on more than one film at a time? Because I don't know where on your website I saw that things were coming out in 2024, 2025, but it seemed like you had a couple of movies already in the can. Do you work on 2 movies at once?
Well, I mean, it's mostly like I have scripts. I have a bunch of scripts that I'm working at any one time, or working, get paid to work on other people's scripts. Yeah. But I mean, the script is easier in that I can just be at home with my computer and I can write a script. But when it's a movie, I need millions of dollars, right? So it's harder to have more than one movie on the go at the time, unless you have Jerry Seinfeld bucks behind you, right?
Yeah. Yeah, money makes the world go around, don't it? Now, what I'm seeing I don't know if this is a trend or it's just me, but I'm seeing trailers come out that every best part of the movie is in the trailer. Once you see the trailer, you don't need to see the movie at all. You've seen in 2 minutes, you got the entire movie. There's no reason to see it. Is that just my perception, or is that actually
That's accurate. It's horrible. I hate that.
Especially for a bad movie. If that's a bad movie, then it's true. Yeah.
Right. I like movies. I like when they do teasers where they give you a hint of it without telling you the whole story, and it draws you in. But you're right. When you see every explosion and every bit of great dialogue all mashed together in 2 minutes, you're right. A number of times I go, I'm not going to see that. And you're right. A lot of times those movies, they're crappy movies that they've just managed to pull together what they can. I actually like going to see a lot of movies without seeing the trailer. I remember seeing 3 Billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, without knowing anything about it, and it was one of my favorite films that year. So you're talking about original film where great characters, great writing, so well put together, such a great story, and I didn't know anything about it. And I don't know if I went. If you go back and watch the trailer, would it have been enough to sell me on it, and would it have given away too much? I don't know. Right.
I am a big fan of just making great trailers that never had movies.
It'd be cheaper. It'd be cheaper than making the whole movie.
I could show you one. Stand by. Here we go.
What would you do if you knew you had less than a year to live? Meet Matt Napo, a.k.a. Mind Dog. Every male in his family history has died at 54 years old, and Mind Dog just turned 54. Help! Help me! Not exactly the superstitious kind, he decides to live as he's dying. Just in case.
I'm the craziest fuck you know. Ship it quick!
Discover how facing mortality can be fun for the whole family.
There's only one man I call when I need an ass.
He's like a pineapple. He's really prickly on the outside and he's really sweet on the inside. You just gotta get past it.
Unscripted, unapologetic, and unleashed.
The dog is a wildebeest. He's like a wildebeest without limits.
From award-winning director Davey Du.
You're an evil man.
This is the story of one man who set out to change the world, one mind at a time.
I just don't fucking know about anything.
Shining a bright light into the dark abyss of the human condition. This film will change the way you look at everything.
You ever lick the paint?
Jeffrey Snipes exclaims, "This is a film I'd pay to miss." Though he walks through the shadow of the valley, he's the baddest mother this valley has ever seen. Mind Dog, coming soon to a theater near you.
My sister Virgil, she jumped from that window when we had a fire once. Hit down here, split her head right open. It was a mess, I tell you what. Fortunately, Doc Everson was right there, and he was able to save her by sewing her head back together. Yes, sir. Of course, half the brain fell out, but she was never that smart to begin with, you know, so... That was a plus, a big bonus right there. People don't appreciate my insanity, so I feel like I have to prove it over and over again. Oh yeah, trailers from movies that were never made. This is my thing. Now that was my audition reel. Can you use me in a film? Basically,
I to quote the words of Jeffrey Snipes, I might not go see that in the cinema. I don't know if it'll make it onto Netflix, but I think it's got a shot at Tubi.
Yeah, no, definitely has a shot at U42, which is like a knockoff of YouTube.
You know, I can't believe you did that whole trailer and not once did you mention alpaca or finding bodies in your backyard.
That's before I even knew about alpaca. And
there's always a Mind Dog 2, right? There's a sequel I'm sure you're working on.
Yeah.
A sequel trailer.
Right.
But what about the bodies? You found the bodies in the yard by then, right?
No. This is like 11 years ago now that I made that movie. So that trailer for a movie that would never be made wasn't my idea.
The sequel will have full frontal male nudity in it.
It actually does. It actually says that right in the trailer for the second one. There was a second one made. But no, that was my audition reel for you, Lee. I want to be an extra in your movie or just some part. I mean, I'll work catering. I'll be a gaffer. Anything.
You never know. You never know.
Matt doesn't even know what a gaffer does. He just knows he sees it in the credits and says, "I can do that."
Does a lot. Okay.
Basically, a lot of people don't realize there's a direct line from catering to gaffing on a movie. It's like, if you want to get to gaffing, you start off in catering.
Well, I could also work.
It's a simple step. It just right there, you're there. You know, 2 movies as a caterer, boom, you're gaffing.
Well, I had a guy on the show. This is really fascinating to me. A guy who was a caterer for a film, and one of the actors didn't show up, and they put him in the movie. And it was called Accidentally an Actor. This guy had no acting chops at all. They put him in the movie. And he was on the program, and it was a terrible interview. Like, the guy didn't know anything. Basically, I was like really working hard to pull teeth here, and he really had nothing to say. And that thing got like hundreds and thousands of views, and people are always angry. Like, why is this guy famous? I'm like, he's not famous. I don't know why you watched it. It's not my fault you watched it. I mean, I could pull it down. But it's just that, just the title, accidentally an actor, gets a lot of views on it. So yeah, there is a direct line, not just between catering and gaffing, but catering and starring in the movie.
There you go. Pick a choice. It's like a fork in the road, right? Where do you want to go?
When people find out what you do, is everybody like me, like being a whore, kissing your ass, put me in a movie? I want to be in a movie. I want my IMDb page to say
Look,
something.
Matt, let me put it this way, Matt. I appreciate you showing me the trailer, but by the end of the day, I'll have 7 other people showing me their trailers too.
Well, hopefully their trailers will actually have been made into a movie.
I didn't make a trailer, so I had to do this. In a world where people have mustaches made out of dreads, there's one man that stands alone.
Yeah, I know. I'm coming to you if I ever need a Latino actress. So you're my top choice.
He's not Latino. He's Papusatak.
I can play Latino.
All right. Now, so are there movies coming out, Lee, or these are still in script or production?
Oh, all those are in script. The one on my website right now is Wicked Plans, is a short film that I've also developed as a TV show, but it's kind of edgy, so I would need someone like FX or something to take it. It's about extremists who come to North America to cause chaos, but end up falling in love with North American and values and North American life. But it's kind of like The Dictator or Jojo Rabbit kind of story. So there's the full 5-minute Wicked Plans short film is on my LeeChambers.com website. Anyone can check that one out.
What a perfect segue. LeeChambers.com if you want to check out all his work, by the way, because in one of the emails I got from you, it said that you were very interested, and I'm paraphrasing here, in U.S. politics, and you're concerned about or worried about the United States. When you talk about this, here we hear about America has been destroyed. It's a dystopia. It's in decline. But people are coming here by the millions. Illegals who just want to come here. If America is destroyed as the people are saying, why do people still risking their lives by the millions to come here? That's a conundrum for me. I can't figure out. Yeah, it's a terrible place. I mean, they totally destroyed, but everybody's like dying to get here.
Well, 2/3 of them are coming to meet Lee Chambers. I'm just as straight. That's average. 2/3.
Well, he's in Canada. They're not going to meet him here unless
you can't spell Canada without going through USA.
There you go. I think you know what my American politics. I mean, I was born on the border to America, so I was influenced by a lot of like American politics, American culture, media, everything, right? Movies, the whole works. Even my Pineville Heights movie that I made in Canada with a bunch of Australians is set in New Jersey, right? My NHL hockey team is the New Jersey Devils. I actually managed to get a license deal with the New Jersey Devils so I could feature the logo in the movie. I think the concern I have right now with American politics is when you go back. If you go back, 15, 20 years or more, whatever, there would always be the right and the left. That's never changed. And there's always been arguments about policy, but what most of the time they did agree on a certain set of facts, right? They agreed that that this happened or that happened, or this was said or not said, and they agreed with that. And then both sides, right and left, would try to find ways to make it work to their advantage. And that was always something that's happened in American politics. The concern I have now is that it's kind of facts are out the window to some people. They don't want to accept any facts at all, and to keep repeating a lie over and over again is actually not. It's like, well, then what is that doing to people? Nobody that's showing distrust into what's going on. It's tough. It's a weird time in America. But when you aren't willing to agree on a certain set of facts, then you're going to come together like this. And So I worry about it, spilling out into more violence than happened, back on January 6th years ago. If certain parties, like right now, it's like the elections are such that I agree with them and I believe in them if I win, but I don't if I lose. And so, well, how does that work, right?
Yeah.
How do you? And you have millions of people who will buy into all of that.
Well, here's my big. Well, there's so much in there, but the election deniers. There were lots and lots of Republicans on all those ballots. All those Republicans who were out there, senators and congressmen, were also elected on the same ballot they were saying was on.
Yeah.
And none of them want to address that. Well, did they forget that you were a Republican? Why didn't they just, if they were going to cheat, go full at it? And why didn't the Democrats sweep the House and the Senate if they were able to rig the elections that well? Why just stop at Trump? None of them would address any of that.
Well, because I think the Chinese lasers are using from Venezuela can only target one person. Maybe, who knows? I don't know.
No, it's the Italian satellites.
The Italian satellites, right? I always forget what country is controlling it. It's China, Venezuela, and Italy. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. But, you're right about the left and right always. But in media, and this is what I'm really interested in, if Canada is kind of influenced by our media, because you do get, you have cable. But the left and right, they've always had spin. But what we're seeing now, and especially because I see clips from Fox News, I don't watch television, but I see the clips from Fox News. It's beyond spin now. They are purposely putting out stuff they know has been thoroughly debunked and putting it out there as if it's truth and lying to people about it with no remorse or even after they get sued for $1 billion, just continue to outright lie. We've never seen that degree of just deception or constant deception and people believing in it right now. So the question is Canada influenced by that in the media, and does it bleed over into your politics?
It does, but at a lesser degree. I mean, America is the entertainment capital of politics, right? It's like the U.S. elections right now have been dragging on. They drag on for 2 years. Right. And in Canada, when they held an election, it's like a 90-day period. So we do it in 90 days or whatever, and it's over and done. So we're not inundated with political ads for constantly about different initiatives or different politicians and stuff like that. So it's different. Yours is they make entertainment of it. And that's the problem when you talk about the media, is that it's not news programs anymore. It's entertainment programs where they have pundits in and they sit there and they talk about polls and all these different things that, who gives a shit what the poll is right now, because the election's not for, months from now. So, but they'll come on and make entertainment for an hour program and say, it's over for Joe Biden. It's over for Trump because this poll just came out and he's up 2 points. And it's like, yeah, by tomorrow it'll change, it'll be different, and it doesn't matter. So they just make a lot of entertainment out of it, and make people afraid and freak out and whatnot. And so so there's that side of the things. The concern and I said to a friend of mine in the States recently that I'm really worried that when you are selling lies to people and you repeat it over and over and over again, and people then think that they are really being hard done by, it can lead to violence. I'm really worried about whether it's a judge, a politician, a juror. Somehow, after the Trump thing, they're like people on right winger media and these things are saying, let's find these jurors and kill them. I'm like, what have we come to? That's crazy. That is absolutely insane. So I'm worried about that kind of stuff happening in America right now.
Yeah.
Now, in Canada, well, in the U.S., we have like 2 media companies, I think, maybe 2.5. Is that an issue in Canada? How many media companies do you have controlling the media?
We're pretty much the same. I mean, you have the Canadian federal one with the CBC, and then you have the private one, which is CTV, and there's also global, and there's 2 or 3 independent ones. primarily in Canada, I think it's less about entertainment, right? So we're there. You do have some of it. They do mirror a little bit of what goes on in America, but it's way less than how America turns politics into a media empire and an entertainment source, right? Where people are like, I'm a news junkie too. Like I'll watch a little bit of everything. I'll dip in to find out how and pretty much to find out nowadays the AI, which is really scary, is even my mom sent me something recently. It's like, did you see this? What Joe Biden said? And I look at it, and then I'm looking up, and I'm going, Mom, it's already been debunked. That's not true. That's on the AI. They used a different voice from this, and they cut it, spliced it together, and made him look like he was an idiot. And so that can happen to both sides, the right and the left. And so now, what can you believe? So people need to be smart. They need to don't just stick to one media where you're in an echo chamber. You need to say, well, I heard this, but is that the spin of the news? Is like there's a fact. There might be a nugget of a fact in there that has been twisted. And how is CNN doing it as opposed to Fox, as opposed to MSNBC or whatever? So I kind of I'll listen to a whole bunch of different things and go in order before I kind of understand really what's happening.
Yeah. Now, do you think our real politics has become stranger than fiction? I mean, because a lot of stuff that's happening in the news, if you wrote it in a script and tried to sell it to somebody, it'd be like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it. I don't think, and it's been going on like that for, since Trump got in. I remember it's like, oh, he'll never get the nomination. He'll never win the general election. And then it's like, oh my God, he did. And now, and Michael Cohen I remember him saying he'll never run again because he wouldn't want to lose again. And now he's running again. And it's like everything that you think now that could never ever happen is.
Well, the only thing is that because when the indictment started piling up, I knew that he'd have to run again just to stay out of jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is why he announced his candidacy like 5 years ago. Like, he was still in office and going, I'm running in 22 because he knew if he stayed out, if he wasn't in office, he was going to jail.
And it was, you can't indict me now because I'm running for office. So it's political,
Which is going to be my defense. If I ever commit a crime, I'm running for office immediately.
Well, that's the thing. Anybody should just declare I'm running for office and be. You can't put me on trial right now. You got any thoughts on RFK Jr., or I like to call him RFQ?
He's a weird kind of character, isn't he? I don't know. He could be the spoiler, right? In this election, that you draw in 5 or 6% away from somebody. So now what you have is, you have both sides going, who's it really going to benefit? So is Trump finding ways? Trump is secretly finding ways to funnel money to RFK so that he stays in it and funnels away votes from Joe Biden. I don't know. It was the same thing. I remember Ross Perot. Remember Ross Perot?
I remember.
It's like he same thing, a little bit of a spoiler. And I remember the debates they had with him. I think RFK's now is trying to get he's trying to fight to get on the debate stage right now. They're kind of not letting him in the door. And it's like, I don't know. If he's there, I mean, let him into the mix and let it be a free for all like a UFC fight.
My concern is that if RFK Jr. does not drop out of the race, we're going to be stuck with the President Jill Stein or Cornel West, and I think that's a scary prospect. I think that's a scary prospect. Or maybe Jill Stein and Cornel West decide to run as running mates, and that's it. We're done.
I've never seen them both together in the same room. Maybe they're the same person.
No, I'm just saying, if they team up and become one ticket, we're screwed. That's it. There's nobody can beat that combination.
Yeah. He is a very interesting character, this RFQ guy, but he is I think he has a messianic complex. I think because he talks about every problem like he has the solution. He doesn't tell you what that solution actually is, but he has no experience dealing with any real. I mean, I know he's done some lawsuits against pharmaceutical companies or pesticide companies, whatever he's done, but that's not like running a country or having any government experience at all. But
to be honest, Matt, I think that's the worm talking. If it were, if it was still alive, it'd be the worm talking. Now it's just the remnants of worm talking.
Yeah.
The ghost of the worm.
But I do believe that at the core, because everybody I see who supports him eventually comes back with some pro-Trump stuff. I do think that his people really they want him to be helping Trump and hurting Biden in the thing, and I think they would be very satisfied if he plays the spoiler for Trump to help Trump get elected. That's my take on it. Anyway, I could be wrong. I'm wrong about lots of stuff. This morning when I started the program, I was noting people on social media celebrating Russia and their economic problems. I don't know if you know aware of this morning's news. The ruble is worth nothing, and so this is like a victory to some people. And I'm like, no, that destabilizes the world in a big way to have Russia totally implode on himself. You have any thoughts on that? Like the idea that people are celebrating this as a good thing. I hate Putin, but I don't want to see Russia.
Well, it would be dangerous because they have nuclear weapons and stuff, right? So you go into an area of the unknown if something destabilizes too much, and then you put Putin into a corner. When you back, just I guess in a way, it's like Trump. If you back them into the corner, they will do anything to get out of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I'm nervous about it, and I just caution people from celebrating too much. We want to do a victory dance. We just so ready to do a victory dance that anything that smells like a win for if you have a side, you're picking sides in things.
Yeah, but you know what the thing with that, like just it's up against Putin, but I'm sure there are millions and millions of Russians who are good people. I mean, it's the any kind of when you do
70,000.
sanctions.
70,000. I don't think it's millions. 70,000. 70,000.
But a lot of these, they're under a regime that controls their lives. They, you have, we're all against Putin. It's like I don't want the whole country to fail because you'd be displacing all of these people that they have no control over their government, right?
Yeah.
And also with Russia, if you take the Russian brides off the market, then the other brides go up in value because of simple supply and demand.
Ukrainian brides have always had a greater value than the Russian brides anyway.
Well, yeah, and if you keep the Russian brides off the market, their value even goes up. So that's going to cost even more. So you want the Russian brides in the market.
I just want to, if I could interrupt you for a second and say, Ron, if you're going to get breakfast, you have to get it for all of us. You can't just be taking care of yourself and not considering the other people and our guests. No, what do we have for it? You got bagels? What do you got?
I have bacon. I got some eggs. I got some potatoes. So
fucking rude bag.
You know what, Ron? You had me at bacon.
Yeah. Last thing on the political stuff, and then we'll bring it back to film and let you go. But last night, on my news feed, there was the UN has declared what the deaths of because of the extraordinary number of deaths in Palestine, that it's a crime against humanity. And I'm like, well, the same people, ask them about the number, because I think more Russians have died at the hands of Ukraine. Is that a crime against humanity? Because we're talking, if the number of people dying is what constitutes a war against humanity, then you should say that Ukraine is committing a act of crime against humanity against Russia when Russia was the instigator there. And they will say, no, well, Ukraine has most of them will say Ukraine has the right to defend themselves. I agree. But so we're going down this path of wars against crimes against humanity are decided about how many people died, not who started the war. That's a totally weird place to be. So if you start a war against me and I win, and because the idea of
you're a bastard.
Yeah, it's to wipe out the enemy. This is what war is all about. The idea here, and what it comes back to me is that you just want to make war palatable. You know, war in itself is a crime against humanity. It doesn't matter how many people are dying. War in itself is a bad thing. And if we could just get that through our heads, rather than trying to say, well, good guys and bad guys, just stop killing each other. War is murder. It's very confusing to me. Do you have any thoughts on any of that?
You know what? I went and saw on June 6th. I went and saw Saving Private Ryan again on the big screen. They were redoing it just to see the horrific nature of war up front. I think it's a really well done movie because it is horrific to watch and to see just boom, just bullets flicking off, just people dying right in front of you. I mean, how horrible that is. The problem is that war is a business, right? So you know how much money, there's a tremendous amount of money that countries spend in defense and weapons and things that can kill people. And then once they do that, then there's a tremendous amount of money to go in there and rebuild and fix it up. So there's a lot of people making a lot of money on these things, and whether it's an individual person or a whole bunch of people, propaganda will push some of that stuff away, and and then the news cycle is so fast these days that tomorrow will be there'll be another big story that they'll forget about that one. It'll be on the back page of the New York Times, within a couple of days, and then you're on to something else, and people forget.
Right. So now bringing this, watch how skillfully I do this. Back to the film stuff. With your interest in all this stuff, do you ever incorporate any of this messaging into your films, or do you purposely try to keep the two interests separated?
You know what? Not really. I don't really include a lot of politics in the stuff I'm writing. Actually, a lot of my stuff I kill people. That's my, And someone said, I noticed a pattern in your movies. A lot of people die, and a lot of people get murdered. And I said, well, that's my therapy, I guess. I don't kill people in real life. I just do it on the paper.
See,
I am working
the
on.
opposite.
Yeah, I am working. Actually, I'm working with a production company in the States right now on a Ronald Reagan story, which is interesting. So it's my perspective as a writer to take something that I'm not an American, but obviously influenced by American politics, and I remember being a kid and watching on the news when Ronald Reagan got shot, and they just replayed it over and over again, and for hours, as this